Welcome to the garden. Today I'm going to share with you a trick I use to know when it's time to up-pot your plants. This works for succulents, houseplants, and even vegetables. I'll generally up-pot a plant when it's twice the size of the container it's growing in. And I usually pick a new container that's twice the size of the old one. This pot has a little bit of a larger hole at the base, so I'm going to use a broken piece of terracotta and we'll set this over the hole. This has a bit of an arc to it, so water will still be able to make its way through. This will just prevent soil from rushing out the base. And we'll add a little bit of our succulent potting mix, just enough to where it can sit right on top. We want it to sit down a little bit from the edge of the pot, so that's actually perfect. With a plant this size, you may want to support the top as we tilt it over. And I'm just going to rest it on the table. That way it won't bend or break anywhere along the stem. We'll give the container a light squeeze on all sides and the bottom if you can. It's a great reason to use plastic containers. Support the plants as I give it a little tug. And at this point, it can benefit the plant to just lightly tease apart these roots. I'm going to be fairly gentle. We're not trying to break the roots, we're just trying to get rid of some of that structure. They were starting to fit the form of the pot they were in, which is square. And this is optional, so if your plant's extremely delicate or you're a little worried, you can just skip this step. We'll just center this in the pot and make sure it stands up straight. Then we can backfill in with the remainder of our potting soil until we match the previous soil level. Some plants you can bury slightly deeper to anchor them, but with this one we're just going to plant it flush. Some succulents like aloe may benefit from sitting in their container for a day before you water. That'll help them acclimate to their new environment. If your plants are particularly top-heavy, this may be a good time to stake them. Wet soil can often shift around. So now we'll actually up-pot this kalanchoe. It has gorgeous pink flowers brushed with yellow. Look at that. Wow. And again, I'm picking a container that's about twice the size of the current pot. And this does have quite a bit of added depth. I could use this pot, which is actually around the same height, but it's so much wider. This would use a lot more soil and really not give us that much more growth. And we'll just double check our depth quick. That's just about perfect. Just squeeze the sides of the container. We'll keep the tag. That has some really nice information for us. And we'll center and level our plant. Give it a little tap just to settle the soil. And make sure it's upright and looking the way we want before we water it in. That's really when things finalize. We could actually pull this out and repot it if we like, but I'm really happy with how it looks. So we're going to water it in. And this is when we can clean up those leaves of all the little bits of soil. So when it comes to up-potting succulents, houseplants, and even vegetables, I like to wait until they're at least twice the size of the container they're in. Then we can pick a new container twice the size of the old one, and that should give them plenty of time to grow. So I hope you give this a go in your garden. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.